What is up, guys? This is the THQ squad here, back with another video, and today we're going to be doing a post analysis on the newest DBS Blue Transformer Gogeta Zenkai 7, or just the Zenkai units and everything. And with me we have Pharaoh, Broly, Joku, Virgil, Wavy, and myself, Green Ruff. And we're just going to talk about them. But first, I'm going to talk with the people that have them at Zenkai 7, and then we can go to the ones that, you know, seen gameplay on him and everything, just to give certain opinions on certain things. So we're gonna start off with Virgil, because I know Virgil has him at Zenkai 7. So Virgil, I know you've been streaming, going crazy. Let me know what you think about him.
Okay, so personally, I'll just give you, I'm a positive guy, so like I'll just go with the positives. To start off, I think he's a defensive beast. Like, dude be taken. His blue card nukes. You do want to do like pretty much anything to buff that blue card. I'm actually running him on a pretty interesting setup with that future support Vegeta, because he buffs blues.
Yeah.
Right? So it's, just put him on like a Saiyan setup, whatnot. You could also throw Bardock in there for a solid blue, purple. But overall, I think he's very, I don't want to say mid. He's like a little bit above mid. He's just your average Zenkai. You don't really need him, but he's a very fun unit to use. I think he's very viable, especially if you don't have Vegeta Blue at high stars. Yeah,
I definitely agree. Yeah, I think he is really solid. I think a lot of people are not used to be like a Zenkai unit just being like just solid, and they want him to be OP and everything. But I feel like the Super Saiyan, just him being a Super Saiyan hurts him, because they can't make him too good, or else he's paramount with Bardock. So yeah, appreciate you giving that little quick analysis on him. So we're gonna hop into the other person that has him at Zenkai 7, Joku. Joku, if you want to talk, go ahead.
Okay, so as a package, obviously you get his Zenkai buffs for movies. Yep. And blue unit. So obviously you got Broly and future blue unit, so that's always good. You get pretty decent value for money, because you're always going to have that there, regardless of whether the unit falls off or not. Those Zenkai buffs will always be there, right?
Yep.
So that's a positive part of having him. In regards of him as a unit, he's very fun to use, very aesthetically pleasing. Like his blue card, his green card, like he looks nice. He's very fun to use. Obviously, with the base stats that he has, they couldn't go too crazy with his uniques. And I feel like his second unique, especially, like the minus 10% damage received from powerful opponent, in a meta where you're literally facing Saiyans constantly, Son family constantly, it's very conditional, and I don't really like conditional unique abilities.
Agreed.
Especially, in this day and age, like I said. So, stat-wise, absolutely fantastic. 305k blast attack, 190k double defense, so very powerful, but you can tell they held off on his unique abilities because of his base stats, and obviously because he's a Super Saiyan. Very similar to transforming Purple Broly, but like Virgil, I'm a positive guy as well. I really do like him. I've been having lots of fun with him. When you land that blue card after using a green, there is no better feeling when you just go for a blast armor, hit that blue card. So yeah, I love him, man. I love him, but I can see why people will be disappointed.
Yep, agreed. Yeah, I definitely love the blue card and everything. I'm gonna hold off to like what I have to say. I'm just gonna get everybody else's, then I'm gonna go last. So the person that has him at Zenkai, but he doesn't have him at Zenkai 7, but he has him at like Zenkai 1. So Zenkai 2, I believe. So the people that's like free to play and has him at Zenkai 1 and kind of wants to hear like how good he is at Zenkai 1, Zenkai 2 is like the lower Zenkais. We do have Broly here, so Broly, give your thoughts on him at Zenkai, like at that lower Zenkai level.
So my big goal to get these units to Zenkai 3, because Zenkai 3, they are like in the middle of the best, but I didn't have enough to get him there. So Zenkai 2, he can't take a hit the amount, but his blue cards still hit hard. And like I get why people don't like it. I don't know why people don't like him, because that 12 accounts can stay on the field for how long, and but he's like he's more better than Broly, and I'm kind of glad he's not broken, and glad he's like 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 trying to get Gogeta some love in the game. But if you are Zenkai him, the Zenkai 3 is the middle point to Zenkai him if you don't want to get 6 or 7.
Yep. So appreciate you letting me know about him at the lower stars. Basically, he's not the best in terms of defensive because at Zenkai 6 he does get that reduced damage buff, so he is going to take a ton of damage, but he's pretty fair. So I appreciate you for telling me that. So we're going to hop in to the people that I think Wavy, I don't think Wavy has a Zenkai, but just watching videos and everything, what you think about him?
Everybody can hear me, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
I fought against him, and actually, funny enough, I did have a friend come over, and I got to play with him with his Z7 very shortly. The pros that I have are at least Fusion's got the Zenkai blue unit, aside from VB, because this guy has been around for a while, and aside from VB, like I said, they do have their blue Zenkai that they've been needing to deal with Gohan. You get your Zenkai buffs. And looking at it from the point of my end, where I don't have him, he's okay. He's not overwhelming. I think Legends has learned to stop with the over-aggressive Zenkais, obviously with Gohan being so broken. So I'm happy that they went just like with the other Broly that we have, he's pretty solid. The Zenkai Fury Broly, I like him. He's pretty okay. He's not overwhelming, but he's a very solid unit. His kit is nice. Like I said, a refresh in the stat boost is what he needed to become relevant again. Just I could definitely see a disappointment in the damage compared to other units that have very increasive damage, but at the end of the day, I think they're taking a subtle approach to the Zenkais, and they're trying to give it a more well-balanced and not over aggressive on it. But out of 10, I give him a 7. He's okay. He's not overwhelming, but I do like him, and even the simple fact that he has a Zenkai is really nice.
Yep. So appreciate you, Wavy, for giving your input, and then we're gonna move on to the last person before I go. Farrell, what you think about him?
All right, so I like him. I checked out his kid, his stats, and all that good stuff. So, me personally, though, I'm most likely going to only run him on movies teams, only because I like Fusion. I use Fusion from time to time, but I prefer movies because I use movies a lot. For some people who don't know, but I want that Zenkai buff. I want to pair him up with the green movie Zenkai Broly. I want to pair him up with the red DBS Frieza, or even Gogeta Blue, just to see how he does. I mean, he has some really nice equips also, but we're gonna save that for another video.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm gonna Z7 him yet, because I'm still over here trying to contemplate whether I want to do that or continue to get shafted. But I'll figure it out. But when I do figure it out, I'm gonna run him on my Sagas for the movie team. And I haven't really used him. I haven't fought against him, so it's not really much I can say. But from what I've seen, again, with his stats and his unique abilities, like he's really, really good. So I'm gonna keep it just short and simple right there.
Yeah, so appreciate you, Farrell. Yeah, he definitely can be running on the Sagas for the movies because I ran him there. He did pretty good. I think I'd rather recommend the LF Broly, but like I said, if you don't have LF Broly, I think he can really fit on that team really well. So appreciate you for giving me your thoughts, Farrell. And I guess I can just go in and just say my things on him. For him, like, I think he's a really good unit. Nothing crazy like people want him to be. Like, I think a lot of people were disappointed that he wasn't OP. Like, I don't know why you want him to be OP. But I think the best things I like about him is the vanish thing. When he dodges, he gains his vanish back. You can make a lot of good plays. Say, for example, you do PV someone, you get a key, you can combo and then get your vanish back. I really like that as well. Another thing I really like about him is his green card. When you power up the blue card, you can lock people in with the blue card. is really good. And say, for example, you're facing against like the strongest unit, like 18 or even Gohan, you can pop the blue card and then they vanish. They're still locked in, right? So you can pop your Rise and Rush and like take that unit out that way, which I use that a lot, which is really good. Now I kind of want to talk to Virgil and Joku about this. One of his abilities, right, is when the longer he stays, he gets the stronger blue card. In my opinion, I feel like that's not really, I don't really like that ability, because I feel like it's really hard for him to stay in the battlefield for 12 timer counts to get that, you know, that maximal special move damage. So I kind of want to ask both of you guys, have you guys was able to manage to stay with him for 12 timer counts? Because one of the things that's hard about him is his blue card is not a range unit, it's not range, and it's not a counter. Like, for example, Namco is really similar in that, where the longer he stays, he gets stronger, right? But he has a counter, so that's easy for him to achieve that, right? That condition. But Gogeta is kind of a little bit harder. So I want to hear both of you guys, what you guys think about that.
I think it's like in the middle. Like, it's either 50-50, because you can, you know how you say you get the Vanish back, his unique ability. So if you really just play passive and you drift a lot and you just like play from a distance, you can really just see what your opponent's doing. You know, PV them, just work your way back and stuff like that. Just keep basically stalling for time if you want to work that. But I'd say like what the second point for the timer kills, I forgot what it is. What is it? 3, 5, 12?
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
It's probably not that, but yeah, it's something close to that. I'd say like with the second, it's pretty solid. You don't need to get him to its max power, but like of course you want to get that solid 70% damage buff. What I don't like about it is that it could be canceled. So it's like, you know, VB, that one green card, boom, just done.
Facts.
And, but besides that, I think it could really come in handy. You know, if you just work around it, it's one of those technical things. Gogeta, they always made his kits, like all his Gogeta characters, they're very technical, like Gogeta Blue. A lot of people slept on him early on, but like now they consider him one of the best units of the game. So it's like maybe they'll feel the same way for this guy.
Right. So yeah, appreciate you, because sometimes I feel like the only time I usually get that 12 timer count is when he's the last man standing. Really, that's when you can really prioritize that. But yeah, sometimes it's got like my play style is kind of really hard for me to stay with a unit for that long. So yeah, appreciate you giving your thoughts. And Joku, what you think about that ability?
Yeah, Virgil pretty much summed it up pretty well, to be honest. On paper, they obviously wanted you to use the 2 vanish gauges, keep him up for as long as possible, and then be able to enable that full timer count activation, the 12 counts. But it is hard, man. It is hard, especially if you're coming up against like a really solid green unit. Like if you come up against Super Saiyan 3 Goku, there's no way in hell you're leaving that guy out for 12 counts. Not a chance in hell. So it's very conditional. Like a lot of his kit is very conditional, and it's a lot of characters these days do receive sort of like conditional kits. So, I mean, if you are in for 12 counts, you get that 70%, you get the extra 30% from the green card, and you land that blue card, you're more or less one-hitting 70% of the units in the game. Like a lot of in my showcases alone, like I've done it to pretty much 2, 3, 4 characters, so it can be done, but it's not the easiest thing to do, keeping him out for 12 counts. But I mean, it's there, so if you can do it, it's there and it's powerful. But you know, it's hit or miss for me, to be honest.
Yeah,
hit or miss.
Definitely agree. And then also, yeah, so I think this is pretty much going to wrap up the vid. Anybody else want to say anything, before we wrap this up?
I do want to touch on one thing, and obviously, you know, we're still in the phase of the anniversary, and I do believe the second part of the anniversary hasn't even creeped around yet. And if you don't, and this is starting to become a repetitive thing, if you don't main some of these units, I don't think it's worth Zenkai, because not only is the second part of the anniversary still creeping up around the corner, but in just my eyes, I don't feel like he's Zenkai worthy, or unless you main, you know, fusions, Saiyans, especially Saiyans, and a few other teams. That's pretty much all I have to say.
Yeah, so I think, I honestly forgot about that. You can definitely hold off your CC. He's not a unit that you need to Zenkai 7 now. You could definitely hold your CC and wait until the last day of his banner to decide, do you really want to Zenkai this man? He's nothing crazy. So I think you should hold your CC because we don't know what's going to come in the later half of the anniversary, like what Wavy said. So I appreciate that. But in terms of like Fusion Warriors though, if you don't have LF Vegito Blue, then I think he's really solid because there's only 2 fusion units on the Fusion Warrior team. It's only VB and him, right? So if you really love fusions and you don't have LFVB, then this guy is really the guy to go. So yeah, I think we pretty much cleared everything up. Anybody else want to say anything before we wrap this up? Nope.
I think that's about it, bro.
Yeah, I think that's good. So I appreciate all you guys that's in here in this admin chat that voiced your opinions and everything. So that's pretty much it with this video. Comment down below what you guys think and about Zenkai DBS Blue Gogeta and everything. I think he's really solid. But yeah, man, that's it for this video. It's the THQ squad and we out. Peace.
Peace.